Now that the Pan American Health Organization has identified the presence of a new and more aggressive COVID-19 variant in Guyana, a local laboratory expert is of the view that the Brazilian variant might have made its way into the country since March. This variant is associated with several worrying trends, most of which have been observed locally. During an exclusive interview with Nightly News, Paul Chetty, a medical microbiologist and head of the virology department at the Eureka Medical Laboratories, explained that apart from being highly transmissible, persons who were previously infected with the original form of the virus can also contract the variant in less than 6 months after recovery.
So what they've seen in Brazil, if you had COVID, because we moved from the wild type to having an increased prevalence of P1, they saw that persons who were previously infected became infected with P1.
Chetty added that the variant is also known to target the younger population.
Previously we had persons in the older age group, but now we have persons in the 40 and 50 age group that are coming down with COVID.
He underscored that the prevailing challenge being faced by local health bodies is access to an international laboratory which has the capacity to conduct testing to validate what type of variants are affecting Guyanese. One of the testing methodologies, the polymerase chain reaction test, which is currently being used to detect the original strain of the coronavirus among Guyanese and those who enter the country, is limited in its ability to reveal whether a patient might be infected with the variant. Hence, genome sequencing is the only way to accurately determine the specific type of variant. At the moment, none of the local labs have the capacity to conduct that type of assessment.
We use these primers and probes. So the probes, they bind to specific regions of the virus. So these new methodologies that are coming out that are based on RT-PCR, so not necessarily sequencing, but RT-PCR based, the probes are specific to whether it be the B.1.17, so the Kent variant from the UK or the UK variant, whether it be the Indian variant or this P1 variant. So the probes will bind specifically to those regions.
Chetty is optimistic that with the implementation of more stringent COVID-19 measures, Guyana can overcome the damning effects of the P1 variant. He suggested that more emphasis should be placed on addressing vaccine hesitancy among residents and lingering stigma that hinders persons from getting tested.
We really need to have targeted strategies to explain to persons, okay, this is what this vaccine is about. I don't think it's sufficient for us to just go on the television and say, okay, everyone needs to be vaccinated.
In addition, Guyana should adopt its own guidelines in response to the pandemic.
We've depended a lot on what the CDC and WHO is saying, but I think if we have smart enough people here that we can develop our own guidance that suits our population.
Temika Rodney reporting for the HGP Nightly News.